wonderful families and brilliant youngsters out there. It's a beautiful day to embark on a journey of discovery, isn't it? Today we're going to explore some fascinating questions that I bet have crossed your mind at some point. Ever wondered why some things cost more than others? Or how engineers design musical instruments to make those lovely sounds? We'll also delve into the reasons why people live in different types of houses, from towering skyscrapers to cozy cottages. Then we'll take a stroll through the world of local markets and understand why they're so important. And last but not least, we'll discover why washing our hands is such a big deal when it comes to keeping us healthy. Each of these topics is like a puzzle piece, fitting together to help us understand this wonderful world we live in a little better. Are you ready to embark on this knowledge adventure? Here we go. Scene script. Have you ever wondered why some toys cost more than others? Well, it's because of something we call supply and demand. Imagine you're in a toy store. There's a super cool action figure that everyone wants, but there are only a few of them on the shelves. Because so many people want it and there's not many available, the store can charge a bit more for it. That's demand. Now let's think about a different toy. Maybe it's a toy that's not as popular, or there are lots of them on the shelves. Because there's not as many people who want it and there's plenty available, the store might charge a bit less for it. That's supply. So, supply and demand is all about how many people want something and how much of it is available. It's a bit like a game of tug-of-war with the price in the middle. If more people want something and there's not much of it, the price gets pulled up. If not many people want something and there's lots of it, the price gets pulled down. But that's not the only thing that affects the price of toys. There's also the cost of making them. If a toy is made of expensive materials or takes a long time to make, it might cost more. For example, a teddy bear made of rare imported fabric might cost more than a teddy bear made of regular fabric. And a toy car that's hand-painted might cost more than one that's painted by a machine. So, when you're looking at the price of a toy, or anything else for that matter, you're actually seeing a story. A story about how many people want it, how much of it there's available, and how much it costs to make. It's a story of supply, demand, and cost. So remember, the number of people who want something and how much of it is available can affect its price. Do you enjoy music? Ever thought about how your favorite musical instruments are made? Well, it's a fascinating process that involves a lot of science, creativity, and, you guessed it, engineering. Engineers are like the magicians of the modern world. They use their knowledge of science and math to design, build, and improve all sorts of things, from skyscrapers to smartphones, cars to musical instruments. Now let's imagine you're rocking out to your favorite song. Maybe there's a catchy guitar riff or a powerful drum beat that makes you want to dance. Have you ever wondered how those sounds are made? Well, let's start with the guitar. The body of a guitar is usually made of wood and it's hollow. When a guitarist strums the strings, they vibrate. This vibration travels through the bridge of the guitar into the wooden body, which amplifies the sound so we can hear it. The shape and size of the guitar, the type of wood used, and the tension in the strings all affect the sound that the guitar produces. That's why a small ukulele sounds different from a big bass guitar, even though they're both string instruments. Now, let's move on to drums. A drum is essentially a cylinder with a tightly stretched membrane on top, which is called the drumhead. When a drummer hits the drumhead, it vibrates, creating sound waves that our ears perceive as a drum beat. The size and shape of the drum, as well as the material and tension of the drumhead, can change the sound of the drum. That's why a deep bass drum sounds different from a snappy snare drum. And it's not just guitars and drums. Engineers help design all kinds of musical instruments, from the brass family like trumpets and trombones, to the woodwind family like flutes and clarinets, and even to keyboards like pianos and synthesizers. Each instrument is designed to produce a specific range of sounds, and it's the combination of these sounds that creates the music we all love. But it's not just about creating sounds. Engineers also need to consider how an instrument feels to play, how durable it is, and even how it looks. After all, a great musical instrument isn't just a tool for making sound. It's also a piece of art. So next time you listen to your favorite song, take a moment to appreciate the engineering that goes into making the music. From the precise design of the instruments to the skill of the musicians who play them, there's a whole world of science and creativity behind every note. Isn't it fascinating how engineers use science to create beautiful music? Have you noticed how houses look different in different places? It's not just about style or personal preference. There are three main factors that influence the design of houses: climate, culture, and available materials. Let's start with climate. The weather conditions in an area can greatly influence the type of house people build. For instance, consider the classic igloo. It's a perfect example of a house designed for a specific climate. In the freezing cold of the Arctic, the Inuit people build these dome-shaped structures from blocks of snow. The snow acts as an insulator, trapping body heat inside and keeping the temperature surprisingly warm. On the other hand, in hot and dry climates, like the deserts of Africa or the Middle East, houses are often built with thick walls and small windows. This design helps keep the inside of the house cool by blocking out the sun and heat. Now let's talk about culture. Cultural beliefs and traditions can shape the design of houses too. In some cultures, it's common for extended families to live together. So, houses might be designed with multiple rooms or even separate buildings to accommodate everyone. In other cultures where people value privacy, homes might be designed with high walls or fences. In Japan, for instance, traditional houses known as minkas were designed with sliding doors and partitions. This flexible layout could easily be changed depending on the needs of the family. Finally, the materials available in an area can also determine the type of houses people build. In forested areas, you'll often find houses made of wood. In places where clay or mud is abundant, people might build houses from adobe or bricks. Think about skyscrapers, those towering structures that dominate city skylines. They're made possible because of steel and concrete, materials strong enough to support their immense height. On the flip side, in rural areas of Africa and South America, you might find huts made of straw, mud, and sticks. These materials are readily available and affordable, making them a practical choice for housing. So, you see, the design of a house is not just about aesthetics, it's a reflection of the climate, culture, and resources of an area. From igloos in the Arctic to skyscrapers in New York City, from traditional minkas in Japan to straw huts in Africa, each type of house tells a unique story about the people who live there and the environment they live in. So the next time you see a different type of house, you'll know why it's designed that way. Do you enjoy visiting the local market with your family? Local markets, often filled with lively chatter, vibrant colors, and an array of fresh products, are a treasure trove of unique experiences and opportunities. But have you ever wondered why these local markets are so important? Let's start by understanding what a local market is. It's a place where local farmers, artisans, and small business owners come together to sell their products directly to you, the consumer. It's like a big open-air shop where you can find everything from fruits and veggies to handmade crafts to delicious homemade treats. Now, why are these local markets so important? Well, there are a few reasons. Firstly, they support local businesses. When you buy from a local market, you're directly supporting the person who grew your food or crafted your new favorite piece of jewelry. This helps them to continue doing what they love and to provide for their families. It also keeps money within your local community, which helps it to grow and thrive. Next, local markets provide fresh and unique products. Have you ever noticed how the fruits and veggies at your local market often taste so much better than the ones from the grocery store? That's because they're usually picked at the peak of their ripeness and brought straight to the market. Plus, they haven't traveled hundreds or even thousands of miles to get to you. This not only makes them taste better, but it's also better for the environment. And it's not just about fruits and veggies. Local markets offer a wide array of unique products that you might not find anywhere else. From one-of-a-kind handmade crafts to delicious homemade treats, local markets are a great place to find something special. Finally, local markets build community. They're a place where people come together to support each other and to celebrate the bounty of their local area. It's a place where you can meet your neighbors, learn more about where your food comes from, and even pick up a new recipe or two. So the next time you're at your local market, Take a moment to appreciate all the hard work that goes into bringing these fresh, unique products to you. And remember, your purchases are helping to support local businesses, provide fresh and unique products, and build a stronger community. Local markets are not just fun to visit, they also help our community thrive. Do you know why we always tell you to wash your hands before meals? Well, let's dive into it. Imagine your hands as a busy city street. Throughout the day, they come into contact with many things, just like cars and people on a street. Now, amongst these cars and people, sometimes there are some unwanted guests or intruders. In the case of your hands, these intruders are often germs. Germs are teeny, tiny creatures that are so small, you can't see them with your eyes alone. But don't let their size fool you. These microscopic organisms can cause big problems, like making us sick. They love to hitch a ride on your hands whenever you touch something. When you touch your face, eat your food, or even shake someone's hand, these germs can jump off your hands and into new places, like into your body or onto someone else. Once inside, they can multiply and spread, causing illnesses like the common cold, the flu, and even more serious diseases. So, how do we stop these germs from causing trouble? That's where hand washing comes in. Washing your hands with soap and water is kind of like sending a superhero into your city street. The soap and water work together to capture and wash away the germs, clearing your hands of these unwanted intruders. But remember, it's not enough to just rinse your hands quickly under the tap. To really make sure all the germs are gone, you need to scrub your hands with soap for at least 20 seconds. Don't forget to clean between your fingers, under your nails, and even up to your wrists. By washing your hands regularly, especially before meals and after using the restroom, you're doing an excellent job of keeping yourself and others around you healthy. It's a simple yet powerful way to fight against diseases and stay fit. So, don't forget to wash your hands to keep those pesky germs away. Wow, we learned so much today, didn't we? From understanding why a toy car may cost less than a chocolate bar, to the magical world of engineers who design musical instruments to produce enchanting sounds. We journeyed through the diverse range of homes people live in, from cozy cottages to towering skyscrapers. Our adventure also took us to local markets, those bustling hubs of community and commerce, so vital to our everyday lives. And let's not forget about the superpower we all possess. Washing our hands to keep the germs at bay and prevent sickness. Each topic we explored today has shown us the fascinating ways in which the world around us works. So give yourselves a pat on the back for being such curious learners. Thank you for joining this knowledge adventure, and remember, learning is always fun. Good night to all the families and sweet dreams to the little ones. Hello, family. Wondering why the price of your favorite toy or ice cream changes sometimes? That's what we call the cost of living. You see, the cost of living is the amount of money we need to buy the things we need and want. It's like a big shopping list for everything you need to live. This includes food, clothes, toys, and yes, even that scrumptious ice cream you love so much. Now you might be thinking, why does the price of these things change? Well, it's all because of something called supply and demand. Imagine you're at school and everyone wants the same cool toy. If there's only a few of them, those toys become really special, right? That's because the supply is low and the demand is high. This can make the price go up. On the other hand, let's say there's a new ice cream flavor that nobody really likes. The ice cream shop made lots of it, but no one is buying. That's a high supply and low demand. So, to make people want to buy it, they might lower the price. The cost of living also changes based on where you live. For example, living in a big city might be more expensive than living in a small town. That's because things like rent, food, and services can cost more in cities. There are also things like taxes and inflation that can affect the cost of living. Taxes are what we pay to the government to help run our schools, roads, and hospitals. Inflation is when prices go up over time. It's why your grandparents might tell you that ice cream used to cost just a few cents. So, the cost of living isn't just about the price of toys or ice cream. It's about how much money we need to live and enjoy the things we like. And it's influenced by many things like supply and demand, where we live, taxes, and inflation. So the next time your ice cream costs a bit more, you'll know why. Ever wondered why we eat so many different types of food? Well, our bodies are like complex machines, and each type of food serves as a special type of fuel to keep these machines running smoothly. Just like how a car needs gas, oil, and water to function properly, our bodies need a variety of nutrients, each with its own unique role. Let's take a simple example. Think about fruits. They are like nature's candy, sweet, juicy, and delicious. But they offer much more than just a tasty treat. Fruits are packed with vitamins, which are essential nutrients that help our bodies function efficiently. They help protect us from sickness, heal our wounds, and even keep our skin glowing. On the other hand, we have foods like bread, pasta, and rice. These might not be as sweet as fruits, but they are like the gas that keeps our engines running. These foods are rich in carbohydrates, which provide us with energy. So when you're running around in the park or thinking hard about a math problem, it's the energy from these foods that's powering you. Then there are foods like fish, chicken, and beans. These are our body's builders. They contain protein, a nutrient that helps build and repair our body's tissues. So if you're growing taller or healing a scraped knee, it's the protein in these foods that's hard at work. And let's not forget about vegetables. They are like the body's cleaners. They provide us with dietary fiber that helps in digestion and keeps our tummy happy. Plus, they also give us a whole bunch of vitamins and minerals. So you see, each type of food has a very special job. They're all important in their own way, and that's why we need a mix of them to keep our bodies happy and healthy. It's like having a superhero team inside us, with each food bringing its own superpower to the table. So, every food has its own superpower to keep us healthy and strong. Scene script. Have you ever thought about why countries trade goods with each other? Well, just like you might trade your apple for a banana at lunch, countries also trade what they have for things they need. This is called international trade. But there's a bit more to it than just swapping an apple for a banana. Often countries will make special agreements or promises with each other about this trade. These are called trade agreements. You can think of them as friendships between countries. They help to make sure that the trading is fair and beneficial for everyone involved. Let's think about it. Imagine you're a country, and you're really good at growing wheat. You have fields and fields of golden wheat ready to be made into bread. But you don't have the right tools to make electronics like televisions or video games. Now, let's imagine your friend is another country, and they're really good at making electronics, but they don't have enough wheat to bake bread. You both have something the other needs. So you decide to swap or trade your wheat for their electronics. That's exactly what happens in real life. For instance, the United States is one of the top producers of wheat in the world. Japan, on the other hand, is known for its high-quality electronics. So the United States and Japan might agree to trade some of their wheat and electronics with each other. These trade agreements are very important for countries. They allow each country to get what they need and also to share their own products with the world. But just like any friendship, these agreements need to be fair and respectful. Both countries need to agree on what they're trading and how much it's worth. They also need to make sure no one is being taken advantage of. Just like swapping toys with your friend, countries swap goods too. And that, my friends, is how trade agreements between nations work. Scene script. Have you ever received money for doing chores around the house? Well, this might seem like a simple arrangement between you and your parents, but it's actually a small example of how the world of work operates. You see, when you perform a task or a job like cleaning your room or washing the dishes, you are doing something that has value. And in return for that valuable work, you get paid. It's a trade. Your hard work in exchange for money. This is a concept known as earning. You give your time, your effort, and your skill, and in return, you earn something. In this case, it's money. But earning isn't just about getting money. It's about understanding that your time and effort have worth. It's about learning responsibility and the value of hard work. Imagine if you were asked to clean your room, and you said, "Sure, I'll do it later," but then never did. Not only would your room stay messy, but you also wouldn't earn that money. But if you take on the responsibility, put in the effort, and clean your room when you said you would, you're showing that you understand the value of your word and your work. Earning money by doing chores can also help you understand how to manage money. You start to learn that if you want to buy something like a new toy or a book, you have to save up the money you earn. This can teach you about budgeting, saving, and making smart choices with your money. So the next time you're asked to do a chore, remember, it's not just about the task itself. It's about learning responsibility, understanding the value of your work, and earning money. It's a small step towards understanding the bigger world of work, where people earn money by doing jobs. So when you tidy your room, you're not just cleaning, you're earning too. Ever wondered why some countries have cooler gadgets than others? Just like we learn and grow, countries also learn and grow through something called technological advancements. This simply means finding new ways of doing things using science and technology. And guess what? The more a country focuses on research and education, the more advanced it becomes technologically. Let's take Japan, for example, a country known for its high-tech marvels. Have you ever heard of their toilets that can warm the seat, play music, and even wash and dry you off? Yes, you heard it right. All these cool features are possible because of technological advancements. But it's not just about fancy toilets. Japan is also famous for its robots. There are robots to help you in the supermarket, robots to assist doctors in hospitals, and even robots to keep you company when you're feeling lonely. How cool is that? These advancements don't just happen overnight, though. They are the result of years and years of research and education. People in Japan, and in other technologically advanced countries, spend a lot of time studying and learning new things. They always question how things work, and how they can make them better. Technological advancements aren't only about making life easier or more fun. They can also help solve big problems. For instance, technology can help us find new ways to produce clean energy, which is better for our planet. It can also help doctors find new treatments for diseases, making us healthier. So, why do some countries have cooler gadgets than others? Well, it's because those countries have people who are dedicated to learning, researching, and coming up with new ideas. They are always asking questions and seeking answers. They are not afraid to try new things and make mistakes because they know that's how we learn and grow. And guess what? You too can be a part of these advancements. All it takes is curiosity, a love for learning, and a bit of hard work. Who knows? Maybe one day, you could be the one inventing the next cool gadget or finding a solution to a big problem. So, studying hard could help you create the next cool gadget. Did you know animals have a super sense of smell that helps them find their way? Imagine trying to find your way in the dark without a flashlight. That's how animals navigate their world, but they use their noses instead of lights. Let's talk about dogs first. Dogs are famous for their incredible smelling abilities. A dog's nose is like a super-powered radar that can detect even the faintest whiffs. When it comes to finding food, dogs can smell a juicy steak from over a mile away. They can even sniff out tiny crumbs hidden under the carpet. So if you've ever wondered how your pet dog always knows where you've hidden their treats, now you know! And it's not just about food. Dogs also use their sense of smell to avoid danger. They can smell a fire burning or a storm brewing long before we can. This is why dogs often act strangely before a natural disaster. They're picking up on smells that we can't detect. Now let's talk about bears. Bears have the most potent sense of smell in the animal kingdom. They can smell food from over 18 miles away. This powerful nose helps them find berries, honey, and fish, even in the vast wilderness. It's like having a built-in food locator. But it's not just about finding food and avoiding danger. Animals also use their sense of smell to navigate their surroundings. They leave scent markers to create a map of their territory. These markers tell other animals to stay away, and they help the animal find its way back home. It's like leaving breadcrumbs to follow in a big forest. So as you can see, an animal's sense of smell is a crucial part of their survival. It helps them find food, avoid danger, and navigate their world. It's like having a superpower that keeps them safe and fed. So next time you see a dog sniffing around, or a bear following its nose, remember that they're using their built-in GPS. So an animal's nose is like their GPS nose. Have you ever thought about why it's important to always tell the truth? Honesty and truthfulness are like the pillars of a strong friendship or any relationship, really. They hold everything together, like the way glue keeps your favorite Lego set intact. Imagine this. You and your friend are playing with your favorite toy and it accidentally breaks. Instead of telling the truth, you decide to hide it and lie about it. When your friend discovers the broken toy later, they might feel hurt or betrayed. That's because when you lie, it's like you're breaking the trust your friend has in you, just like the broken toy. Now let's consider a different scenario. You're at school and you didn't do your homework. The teacher asks you why, and you come up with a tall tale about an alien abduction. It might sound funny at first, but if the teacher discovers the truth, they might stop trusting you in the future. And trust me, it's hard to rebuild trust once it's lost. But honesty isn't just about not telling lies. It's about being genuine and real, like how a mirror reflects exactly what's in front of it. You're being honest when you express your true feelings, when you admit your mistakes, and when you stand up for what's right, even when it's hard. Think about your favorite superheroes. They always stand for truth and honesty, right? That's because these values are superpowers in their own right. They help us build strong relationships, make fair decisions, and live a happy and peaceful life. So, the next time you're tempted to tell a fib, remember the broken toy and the alien abduction. Remember how lies can break trust and how hard it is to mend it. Remember that being honest might seem difficult at times, but it's always worth it. Just remember, honesty is always the best policy. Because when you're honest, you're being the best version of yourself. And that's a superpower everyone can have. Did you know animals have their own special ways of talking to each other? Just like we chat with our friends or call our family, animals use sounds, movements, and even smells to communicate with one another. Let's start with sounds. Think about a dog barking. It's not just noise, it's a form of communication. When a dog barks, it could be saying, "Hey, there's a stranger at the door," or "I'm excited to see you." Birds also use sounds to express themselves. They chirp and sing to attract mates, warn others of danger, or simply announce, "This is my territory." But what about animals that can't make much noise? They use movements. Bees, for example, perform a unique dance to tell their hive mates where to find food. By wiggling and twirling in a specific pattern, they provide directions to a flower field or a new source of nectar. It's like they're giving each other a map and compass, but with dance moves. And then there are smells. Animals like dogs and cats have an incredible sense of smell. They use this to communicate too. Have you ever noticed your pet sniffing around the park or at home? They're not just exploring, they're picking up messages left by other animals. A scent mark could be a way to say, "This is my space, keep out," or "Hey friend, I was here." In the ocean, creatures like squids and octopuses change their skin color and pattern to communicate. A sudden shift in color might mean, "I'm scared," or "Stay away." And let's not forget about touch. Many animals like monkeys and cats use touch to strengthen social bonds, comfort each other, or show dominance. It's their way of giving a hug or a pat on the back. So just as we use words, facial expressions, and body language to convey our thoughts and feelings, animals also have their own special ways of expressing themselves. It's a fascinating world of nonverbal chats, dance parties, and scented messages. So animals have their own unique languages, just like us. Ever wondered why we have a flag and what it stands for? Flags are much more than just pieces of fabric fluttering in the wind. They are symbols packed with meaning, representing the history, values, and aspirations of a country. Let's take a closer look at the flag of the United States. This flag, often referred to as the Stars and Stripes, Old Glory, or the Star-Spangled Banner, is a powerful symbol of the United States. It's a reflection of the country's history and its journey through time. The 13 red and white stripes represent the original 13 colonies that rebelled against British rule and became the first states of the United States. These stripes remind us of the bravery and determination of the early settlers who sought to create a new nation where they could live according to their beliefs. The blue field, or canton, on the top left corner of the flag holds 50 small white 5-pointed stars. Each one of these stars stands for one of the 50 states that currently make up the United States. The stars are a symbol of unity, indicating that while each state has its own identity and governance, they all come together to form one nation. The colors of the flag also hold significant meaning. Red symbolizes hardiness and valor, white stands for purity and innocence, and blue represents vigilance, perseverance, and justice. Together, these colors paint a picture of a nation that values courage, integrity, and resilience. Flags are also often at the center of ceremonies and public events, further emphasizing their importance. On national holidays like the 4th of July, or during significant events like the Olympics, the U.S. flag is proudly displayed, reminding everyone of the shared history and values that bind the country together. So the U.S. flag is much more than just a design. It's a symbol, a statement, and a story. It's a vibrant reminder of where the country has been, where it is, and where it hopes to go. So our flag is a beautiful picture of our country's story. Can you imagine buying things without using money? People used to do that. Long before coins jingled in our pockets or credit cards swiped through machines, people traded without using money. This system was called bartering. Bartering is like swapping, where you give something you have and get something you want in return. Let's imagine a world where money doesn't exist. You're a farmer who grows delicious, juicy apples. You want to get some bananas, but you don't have any banana trees. Now what do? You find someone who has bananas but wants apples. So you both agree to trade. You give them some of your apples and they give you some of their bananas. That's bartering. Bartering wasn't just for fruits, though. People traded all sorts of things. A carpenter might fix a leaky roof in exchange for bread and cheese from the baker. A shoemaker might make a pair of shoes for a tailor, who in return would make the shoemaker a new coat. But bartering had its challenges. What if the person with bananas didn't want apples but wanted oranges instead? Or what if the baker didn't need his roof fixed right now? These problems eventually led to the invention of money, which made trading easier and more convenient. Despite these challenges, bartering still exists today in some parts of the world. In fact, even you might have bartered without realizing it. Have you ever swapped toys with your friends? That's a form of bartering. Bartering teaches us the value of things, not in terms of money, but in terms of what we need and what we can offer to others. It's a way of trading that depends on cooperation and understanding between people. So before money, people used to shop with things, not coins. And even today, whether we're swapping toys or trading cards, we're keeping a piece of that old tradition alive. So the next time you trade something with a friend, remember, you're part of a tradition that goes back thousands of years.